universally loved it. I don't know if you've ever turned on a cable TV channel, you've probably seen it. Yeah, I just saw that movie, and this is like the 50th time I've seen it, and I realized this time is the security at that prison really fucking sucked. And I don't just mean because like he escaped at the end. I mean like, compared to a modern prison, you know? In a modern prison, they won't even let you keep a toothbrush because you might sharpen the end and stab somebody. But like in Shawshank, they let that old guy keep a fucking crow. You know how many shanks I can make out of a crow? It's like 5 shanks. Give or take a rib. I don't know how crows work. Whatever. Alright, here's a quick story. Not really. But here's a story that has nothing, has no morals, no lessons. It's just a thing that happened to me. When I was 13, I was really fortunate. I got to go to Hawaii with my parents. It's like a family vacation for 2 weeks. They saved up for a long time and we got to do that. And when I was there, they really drilled in my head, like, take advantage of this, you know? Do something you can't do anywhere else. Like, remember everything. This might be the peak of your life. I was only 13, but they were right, so fuck them, whatever. But I was only 13, so at this point, I didn't actually really care about Hawaii. There was really only one thing I wanted to do, and it's not the kind of thing you can do on a family vacation when you're sharing a hotel room with your brother. So the whole time just became a whole thing about like trying to get alone, trying to escape, and take care of some bodily changes. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, so I just did the next best thing, and snuck away when we were on a nature hike, and then masturbated into an active volcano. I'm sorry, did I say next best thing? I meant to say best thing. I did the best thing. There are no better things to do. Alright? I mean, holy shit, it's the only place you can do that on American soil, and this is the only place you can hear about it, because TripAdvisor keeps deleting my reviews. That's annoying. No, they believe me. I should warn you though that it's really good, but it's actually probably a little too good. Because, you know, this happened when I was 13 and I didn't have real sex until I was 25. Because once you've had the planet, who gives a shit, right? It's kind of hard to get it up for mortals after that moment, you know? Like my friends would make fun of me. They'd be like, hey, why aren't you out there hitting up the clubs and trying to hook up? And I'd be like, dude, you forget, I know what it's like to rub one out with tectonic plates. I'm at peace. You know, I don't need any of this shit. You know, no offense, ladies, but no one's ever gone balls deep in Gaia before and then come back to the mainland just to be like, hey, I wonder what Mandy's up to. It doesn't happen. But I could teach you a lot about how to do that. I could teach you things like, you know, how to pull off a perfect Plan B hook shot into a caldera the next morning because you forgot to ask Gaia if she took the pill. I teach you how to do that. It's a good one. All right. Let me see. I'm 28, and my life didn't really work out the way I thought it would. Like, you know, I haven't planned a single art heist in my entire life. That was a real bummer. I thought that's all I was going to be doing. Because art heists are like the top of the line when it comes to crime. They're what everyone wants to be if you got that like thievery mind. You know, I've stolen a lot of stuff, but like online, and that's not the same, you know? You know, a thumb drive full of Game of Thrones episode is not going to get me past the door at Monte Carlo, right? So I want to do art heists, because they're the coolest heist in the world. It's as good as it gets. Because for one thing, when you're doing an art heist, you know you're stealing from the rich. It's given. Everyone wants to steal from the rich. No one wants to steal from the poor, or even the middle class. No one wants to steal from a guy who refers to cashews as the fancy nut, you know? I swear to God, I was in line at SA one day and I heard a guy behind me say that. I gave him my spot. He's like, I'm not holding you back any more than life already has. I'm just fucking go for it. The other reason why art heists are awesome is because no one dies in art heists. No one, ever. Like, you've never heard a guy be like, oh, how'd you pull off that heist? How'd you get that Rembrandt? It's like, oh, well, I got a gun, you right? And then I murdered everyone between me and the painting. It doesn't happen like that. It's not that kind of crime. It's kind of limiting. It's like if arsonists had like an agreement that they could burn down whatever they wanted, but you just can't use gasoline. Like, yeah, you can burn down your ex-girlfriend's house, but you gotta do that shit the Weebalo way. You know? Okay, that's weird. Here's even weirder. There's a girl I'm seeing who has a dog as a comfort animal, which I think is some really unoriginal bullshit. Like, as a comfort animal, you can get whatever you want, and she got a dog. Right? That thing's gonna die pretty soon. Like, if I needed a comfort animal, I would get like something cool, because you can get whatever. I'd get like a giant tortoise, because those things live forever, and that's comforting, obviously. You know, that's a source of anxiety you'll never have. The thing's gonna live to be 300. You're probably its eighth owner. That fucking tortoise is renting you. Also, if I had a tortoise, I wouldn't do like stupid things, like I wouldn't teach it how to eat pizza with me or give it a pet rat. You know, I wouldn't do the cliched shit. But I don't think I'd be able to resist just like strapping a big glass sheet to its back. Because how awesome would it be to come home, sit on your couch, and then have a coffee table in front of you some of the time? I think that'd be awesome. Like, I wouldn't restrict its movement, but I would like having optional furniture. That'd be fun. I'm 6'2", guys, which I really like. I like the fact that I'm 6'2". It's the perfect height. It's like you're tall. You're not so tall that like you're gonna be fucked over at airports, but you are tall enough that if you don't put it in your Tinder profile, you feel like you're leaving money on the table. You know? So it does kind of force you to be that kind of tool. So that's not entirely good. I think that's all I wanted to work on for today. Thank you very much, guys. I've been Jacob.